Dividend stocks are stocks that pay a portion of a company's profits to shareholders in the form of regular dividend payments. Some of these stocks pay these dividends every single quarter or every single month, but one thing that they have in common is that they can be a great source of passive income for investors looking to supplement their regular income or, of course, build for a retirement nest egg for the future. However, many people wonder, what is the lowest amount of money that it would take to live off of dividend stocks? If you're anyone like me, you've definitely dreamt about the idea of building a dividend portfolio that pays for all of your bills, maybe even plus some. So in this video, we're going to go through the exact math and everything you would need to know to find out exactly how much you would need invested to fully live off of your dividend stocks. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that the amount of money it would take to live off of dividend stocks, of course, is going to vary depending on your lifestyle, and generally speaking, the level of bills you have coming in every single month. For example, someone living in a major city with a high cost of living will need much more income to cover their expenses compared to someone living in a very small town with a very low cost of living. But that being said, there are still some general guidelines that can help you determine how much income you would need to live off of dividend stocks. The first thing you need to consider is your expected rate of return from your dividends. This is going to vary from stock to stock because all stocks, for the most part, pay a different amount every single quarter and or every single month. For example, a stock like Apple does pay a dividend every single quarter, which is currently around 23 cents per share. Now, Apple's forward dividend yield is around 0.6%, which means you would need a lot of money invested into Apple to even think about living off the dividend. On the other hand, there's covered call ETFs like QYield. This fund currently pays around 17 cents per month. The trailing 12-month dividend yield for QYield is around 12.78%, which of course means you would need much less money invested into QYield in theory to completely live off the dividend. As we said in the start of the video, it's also mostly going to depend off of your cost of living. Now, according to SoFi, the average cost of living in a state like Florida is $43,615 per year, which is the 32nd lowest cost of living state in the United States. So an interesting and important thing to do for you to get started with this is to make an entire budget. Go through all of your expenses every single year and break them down by month and even maybe by the week. See how much money you need to completely cover your expenses for the entire year. So once you have your entire year's total expenses tallied up, let's just say it's $40,000 per year. What you need to do next is go find a specific stock, and of course you can do this with multiple different stocks, just as a fun exercise. What you would then do is look at the specific stock and see how much it pays every single year. So right here, Verizon, for example, Verizon pays 65 cents per quarter right now, which is an annual payout forward $2.61 per year. So what you would then do is type in on a calculator your entire yearly expenses, which in this case we said is $40,000 per year. Then you would divide $2.61 because that was the example we're using for how much Verizon pays out every single year, which will give you a grand total of 15,325 shares of Verizon, which is what would be needed to cover your entire year of expenses. What we would do then with this number is times this number, because this is the amount of shares. You would times this number by Verizon's current share price. So Verizon is currently $40.27 per share. So this means, in theory, you would need $617,164 invested in Verizon to completely cover your $40,000 per year expense bill. Now, what would be fun to do is to go through multiple different stocks or ETFs and see exactly how much of said stock or ETF you would need invested to completely cover your bills. Something that might be a little bit shocking about this is you might not need as much money invested into the stock market, into specific stocks or ETFs than you might have thought. You see, as long as your expenses are relatively low, and of course we can all do better about trying to get our expenses lower and lower by cutting corners and finding deals, etc. You do not need all that much money invested. You do not need millions upon millions of dollars invested to have your dividends cover your entire life's expenses. But I want to hear more from you guys. Do you guys think that dividend investing is a good tool? Is a good vehicle to lead you to retirement? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like on the video and also subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you guys in the next one.